Hello, welcome to Key Stage 1's music assembly. Oh, I nearly said singing assembly, but it isn't singing assembly. We've decided for the moment that we're not going to have singing in classes in school because it's just not quite safe enough yet. So instead, we're going to have music assemblies and we're going to learn all about the different composers that we listen to in morning music. Now, a composer is somebody who chooses what notes to play. They write the music. Like an author writes a story, a composer writes music. And people have been writing music, composing music for hundreds and hundreds of years. And over 100 years ago now, in the 19th century, 150 years ago, a composer was born whose name was Claude Debussy. He was French. And he loved music so much. When he was 10 years old, he went to a special university for music called a conservatoire in Paris. He was only 10. Can you imagine that? That's not very big to go away from your family and study instruments and composing and playing the piano. But he was so clever at music and he loved it so much that he went to become a composer. It took him a long time because he didn't really like the way music was being written when he was a young man. There were people like Beethoven and Mozart and Wagner who were very famous. They were all German, and really Debussy didn't like the way Germans composed music when he was a young man. He thought that everybody was following a very boring way of making music. He thought it was old-fashioned. He wanted to find something new. Now, Debussy is called an impressionist. That's quite a word, isn't it? An impression is to give a feeling or just a sense of something. So instead of trying to give an exact picture of something, you would just give a sort of a hint of it, a suggestion of it. It's, a couple of squiggles, that means I want that to be a cat. Can you see how it might be a cat? In drawing, there were lots of artists who were called impressionist painters and drawers who would create art like that. But in music, just the same. Composers like Debussy didn't want to say, I'm going to have this first movement of my symphony is going to be very powerful and make you feel very proud of your country. And my second movement of my symphony is going to be slow and sad. And the third movement of my symphony is going to be very fast and uplifting, and you will finish by cheering. And all symphonies must be written like that. Now, a symphony is a piece of music written for lots of different instruments, all playing at the same time. Violins and cellos and violas, those string instruments, and trumpets and French horns and flutes and bassoons and oboes and drums and glockenspiels and cymbals and, oh my goodness, all the instruments of the orchestra all playing together. But Debussy wanted to do something different. He wanted to create this feeling, this impression. And so quite often he wrote pieces of music that had titles like The Sea or Moonlight. Today we're going to listen to a piece of music, Clair de Lune, which in French, that means moonlight in English. So Debussy was trying to write a piece of music that felt like moonlight, being out at night when the moon was shining brightly. What did that feel like? What impression was that going to make? And it's a very beautiful piece of piano music. Now, over the time that we've been out of school, quite a lot of you have been doing our morning music and art, where we draw while we're listening to a piece of music. And what I'd like you to do now is do a picture while you're listening to this lovely piece of music by Claude Debussy called Moonlight, Clair de Lune. You can do a picture of something, so you might want to do a picture of a beautiful night park with trees and grass and the moon shining in the dark sky and some stars. Or you might want to do a picture of a cat, or of your house, or of a hand. You could do some pictures of hands. Have a look at your hand and try drawing it. Or you might want to draw some shapes as you listen to the music and think, oh, that bit of music, I just want to do this lovely long line. Oh, I might do some little dots. And you can choose. It does not matter. So, listen to the music, draw while you're listening, and see what impression, what feeling this music gives you. And I'll see you next time.